I'm not going to say this is just as bad as cable because cable sucks balls and we'll never go back there. I'm not going to say I'm going back to cable because this is bad. The pros of cable TV: variety. You got 200 channels or whatever.
Right.
You get local news and sports. No internet required. And if you want internet, well, you can bundle it for even cheaper. And importantly, for all the old people out there, it's easy. Watching cable TV is easy.
Dude, I feel like that's just not true.
Well, listen, I work at an old people home. They all watch cable TV. They love it. Not many of them watch Netflix.
For cable, you had to like have a guy come to your house.
Well, I mean, once you get it installed and everything, you just change the channel.
That's crazy.
And you're there.
What if before you could use your Netflix account, somebody had to come in and like flip a switch for you?
Well, if you're old, then it's your grandson or your son or whatever has to come and set up your Netflix for you and teach you how to use it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. My grandfather was huge into the Rat Pack. He loved Sinatra. And we got him an iPod for Christmas one year. I mean, I don't know what we were thinking. Because in our minds, we're like, oh, now he can listen to his oldies, from the convenience of his palm. Some people are just better equipped to continue to do what they know how to do.
Yeah, neuroplasticity.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, dude. Cable kind of fucking sucks.
And I understand that because that's literally my job. I've taught a bunch of old people how to do Netflix or Spotify or use a smartphone for the first time. So yeah, I get it. And it's easy for them to just be like, just to watch cable. I change the channel. I know I like channel 9. I like channel 12. I like 55.
It's almost like this sort of paralysis of choice.
Yeah. Where it's like using the arrow keys to select what you want to watch, and it's too much.
Yeah. Like we tried to introduce my partner's grandmother to YouTube. There was just so much on, because YouTube as a concept is kind of nuts when you think about it. And so I think there was just so much that it's just easier to just like not fuck with it at all.
It is. And that cable curates all that stuff for you. Like I like to watch gardening and cooking shows. Well, there's channels for that. I like just watch the local news or, old movies. So there's channels just for those things. You turn that channel, you find something that you like. That's just how it's going to go.
I just got to pay $80 a month for
it. And they pick what you watch. You don't even have to decide what you watch. That could be interpreted as a pro. In that case, I don't have to decide what I watch or when I watch it. I just turn on the TV and there it is.
It's there.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So, of course, cons of cable TV. Well, you've got expensive contracts. It's not on demand. So you watch based on what they give you. And you watch during a certain time slot. Of course, commercials. You're paying money to watch so many commercials. I can't believe we ever put up with that. It's censored heavily. You pay for tons of channels that you just never watch and have no interest in. And like you said, Mel, you got to have some guy come to your house and hook it up for you. You got to have special equipment just to watch cable.
You brought up censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this makes me sound like a particular type of person, but as time progresses, the harder I find it to consume censored content.
Right.
I
pay for this shit and I can't watch a movie that says fuck or has a violent scene or anything like that. I get a very limited version of basically everything. You just can't do certain things on cable because of that whole mass appeal kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
And that's why Netflix and like fucking HBO are so crazy. Because it's just dude, they can do everything.
They do as much as they can.
It's great. Yeah, I'm happy with that. But obviously there's a good damn reason why cable went out of vogue the way it did, because we're in this weird time right now where obviously cable, it just didn't do it anymore. It was a bad deal, and then streaming came along and it was a really, really good deal at the time. Netflix, you pay $7 a month, it's like you get everything and it's instant, there's no ads. It was a utopia. And
you
now
put it on your Wii.
Yeah, now we're circling, we have the same problem now. We're in this dystopia of so many streaming services. Everybody's got their own streaming service, and you're paying for 5 of them, and it's like $60 a month, and all your content is fragmented, and it's like something else is going to come along now to remedy this.
It's just cable with extra steps.
It is. Now, I'm not going to say streaming services are like, oh, it's the same thing, or maybe even worse, because it's not. Having on-demand content and no ads is just inherently better. It just is. And the freedom that you get on a streaming service is way better than cable. I'm not going to say this is just as bad as cable because cable sucks balls and we'll never go back there. I'm not going to say I'm going back to cable because this is bad. No, I'm willing to pay because the perks that they give in certain cases, like I pay for Max, I pay for Netflix, because I still feel like they have justified their asking price. And I understand some people don't feel that way. That's totally fine, personal preference. But I'm not far enough to the point where I'm saying piracy is the option, because I'm in that camp where, I'm willing to pay for just that convenience and just like the kind of security that, well, I don't have to store it. I'm not going to download something bad. I don't need to learn how to pirate things, even though I am tech savvy. But, I would rather pay for that security of having curated media and just knowing what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Now, I understand if you don't feel that way and you say piracy is the new thing. This is the thing that's overtaking streaming. I want to own the shit. I don't want Netflix to take away my favorite show. I'll pirate it and I will own it for good. And I'll take all those risks and I'll overtake those cons, because a lot of the cons of piracy are kind of like just personal preference. Like I can overlook it, or I'm willing to learn how to do it, and I'm willing to make the space for it. Because once you get past that, well, it's mostly pros. It's mostly like free shit. You own it. So, once you get past those few cons of piracy, I feel like this is the new wave. Until something better comes along, because that's exactly what we're having. We're having a service problem. Streaming services are no longer just convenient and good all around the board. They've got their own problems.
They've lost the plot.
Yes, they've lost the plot.
They've completely lost sight of why people started giving them money in the first place.
Something new needs to come along to remedy this. And I think for the time being, piracy is the option.
I don't disagree. Our government mandated streaming services, but it's like a service provided to the citizens of America. That's just what we'll do. We'll essentially
government mandated entertainment.
A department of streaming where everything ever made just goes straight to that, and it's provided to everybody for free.
Right, you pay your taxes and then you get a free streaming service that has everything.
Exactly. Let's just cut out the middleman and skip straight to that inevitability.
Yeah, then the government can control everything that we watch.
Yeah. You think Harvey Weinstein was ruining those movies with his input? Just wait until Joe Biden. He gets to decide. You think it's what scenes are cut?
Yeah, you think it's dangerous that huge corporations like Warner Brothers and Amazon are controlling the media we consume? So wait until the government gets their hands on it. They'll just
and they will. It's only a matter of time. Subscription services, there's a couple that are very much worth it, but for the most part, they're rapidly deteriorating at a scary fucking rate. Physical media is nice, but it's also very expensive. My PayPal charge for Netflix went through yesterday. $17. Netflix, by the way, used to be under $10 a month, by the way. But $17 fucking a month, just because I don't want ads. I have less subscriptions than the average person, but I still have like Netflix and Spotify, and I have a Hulu subscription. For a brief period of time, I had a Peacock subscription. That's like already like what, like fucking $55 a month?
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
You know what? That's still better than cable, though.
Streaming is just turning into cable.
In a way, yes.
Like there's so many ads, so many different streaming services, so many mergers.
And now they're bundling them together and selling them to you as a big package.
We're just trying to fucking reinvent the wheel, dude. It's just becoming cable again. It's so depressing. It wasn't like this fucking 3 years ago.
Well, everybody wants their own streaming service, like you said.
I think that is honestly the issue. Like, this is the one time where I'm like, hey, maybe we should kind of like have a small number of companies regulating and programming all of the good shit. It's kind of like streaming services for music. For the most part, it's either Apple Music or Spotify. And I know that other services exist, such as like Tidal, Bandcamp, and, fucking Pandora, a couple other. But really, are you Spotify or Apple Music? And then there's a very small percentage of people that are sort of migrating to others. Like, monopolies aren't good. Just all of these like 2-syllable, like 4-letter streaming services that seem to pop up once a week. It's like, oh yeah, the most popular movie in America? Dude, it's on Bebo for fucking $20 a month. You can get a Bebo subscription. It's like, I'm not doing that. I'm never watching that thing ever again. I think that tiers are an issue. for the most part, the introduction of tiered pricing for subscription services that's maybe what has turned me off to using subscription services the most.
I agree.
I think for Netflix, for example, just make one price for everything that you have to offer and maybe a lower price for ads. But I think even that's fucking stupid.
And the point of me using Netflix is so I don't have to watch ads.
Like Crunchyroll, they did a paid subscription where you had no ads, or they had a free service where you had ads and you got episodes a week after they aired instead of day of. It's still usable
when it's free, that's a totally different story. Now, when it's like $7 compared to $15.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like if there's ads, I shouldn't fucking be paying for that shit at all.
Yeah,
because it feels like a lose-lose. You're watching ads and you're
paying money to watch ads. What is this, cable?
But like stuff like paying for 4K, paying for a higher resolution, that is fucking bananas to me. I mean, that is just greedy. That is greedy. That is Taylor Swift levels of greed. I mean, dude, I have a 4K TV downstairs in my apartment and I never get to use it to its fullest potential because I'm not paying an extra fucking $5, $6, $7 a month just to have a better, and it sucks because if I own, like, for example, one of my favorite movies is like Mad Max Fury Road, visually stunning movie, but unless I own it on Blu-ray, I have to pay extra to watch it the way that I want to watch it.
Right.
And it sucks.
Subscribe for more videos and shorts from The Long Couch. Follow the link in the description below to stream full episodes on Spotify. And keep up with Carl and Mel on Instagram and Twitter.